Today we step into Leviticus 10, a stark moment in the priestly code given to Israel. This chapter centers on the gravity of approaching God with reverence, the consequences of misplaced zeal, and the lifelong call to holiness donning the priestly office. Always remembering that passages like 1 Peter 2:9, which calls believers a royal priesthood, and Revelation 1:6, which states God has made us to be a kingdom and priests. This means believers can approach God directly through Jesus Christ, offer spiritual sacrifices, and are called to proclaim God's praises. But always approach God with reverent respect. Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, offer unauthorized fire before the Lord, contrary to his command. They come with incense in their censers, but they do so in a way that disregards the precise holiness prescribed for approaching God. Fire comes from the Lord and consumes them, and they die before the Lord. This dramatic judgment underscores the seriousness of worship conducted according to God's instructions, not merely from sincere zeal or emotion. The holiness of God versus human presumption. Nadab and Abihu's act is described as strange fire or profane because it was not ordered by God. The chapter makes clear that sincere intent isn't enough when it steps outside God's established method. Aaron's restraint and instruction. Moses immediately withdraws and the people mourn. Moses' involvement emphasizes obedience to divine command, while also highlighting the communal impact of the tragedy. The call to sanctity within the priesthood. After the incident, Moses instructs Aaron and his remaining sons, Eleazar and Ithamar, not to show outward signs of mourning in a way that would disrupt the sacred duties. The text balances lament with duty, reminding the priesthood of the ongoing responsibilities even after a catastrophe. Prohibition on ordinary mourning rites for priests. A key detail is the prohibition against leaving the sanctuary or drinking wine when entering the tabernacle. This reinforces ritual purity and focus in service. The aftermath and purpose. The command to bring the lean offerings and to eat the sin offering within the sanctuary grounds reinforces that certain portions were set apart for the priests as part of maintaining ritual order and providing for the priestly class. What this means for worship and leadership. Worship must align with divine instruction. Human enthusiasm, while valuable, cannot override revealed commands. Leaders are held to especially high standards because they represent God's presence and order to the people. There is a tension between sorrow and service. Even in loss, the community continues with obedience to God's structure, ensuring continuity of worship in the camp. How do we distinguish heartfelt devotion from prescribed obedience in our own spiritual practice? In what ways can we maintain reverence and discipline in worship without quenching genuine zeal? Join the discussion and engage in conversation by visiting our podcast supersite, godstreamradio.com. Here you will find podcasts from leading Christian authors and many Christian musicians. Meantime, keep the faith and stay strong.